upon a time in the state of Pennsylvania, there lived a group of German Mennonites who were looking for a new place to live. They had their eye on Colonel Beasley's land up in Canada, and so they bought it off him, in cash, which they sent in a keg on a wagon, escorted by a small army. Once they arrived, they farmed the heck out of that land. Who did? Well, the Ebes, the Brickers, Schneiders, Erbs, Weavers, and the Brubachers. Over time, this little settlement grew into a village. It had a church, some streets, a school, sawmill, and downtown began with the addition of the blacksmith shop. And this settlement came to be known as Berlin, which was pretty dang fitting because basically everyone who lived there was German and spoke German. And Berlin grew so rapidly that by the 1880s, it had coined the catchphrase, Busy Berlin. People knew it as this bustling, industrious, ever-growing community. And during that time of growth, Berlin had actually become fairly diverse. I mean, one scholar says, walking through downtown, you would hear the babble of the Pennsylvania Dutch, the Scots burr, high and low German, Yankee twang, and ruling class English all blended together in the streets of busy Berlin. Now, things did get ugly during World War I. During this time, people in Canada were not keen on German people, and this greatly affected Berlin, which was experiencing a lot of persecution. And so because of that, they decided it would be a good move to change their name. And they offered $300 to the person who came up with the best name. After some pretty questionable contenders, they settled on Kitchener in honor of this guy, Lord Kitchener, a British war hero. And after the war, downtown, what did it look like? It looked smoky. Berlin was full of factories. Factories for rubber, felt, leather, tires, electrical goods, mattresses, shirts, luggage, and buttons. You name it, we made it. One historian writes, their smoke blanketed the heart of the city. Which could be romantic until you think of cancer, but oh well. The Great Depression happened, and that sucked. And then the Second World War hit, and that was even worse. But by the 50s and 60s, Kitchener was booming. Soldiers were back, marrying ladies, making lots of babies, partying it up in the suburbs. It was what they called the Kitchener Dream. But then in 1967, Fairview Park Mall was built, all the way over here. And although many citizens were super excited about the mall, it meant that downtown had become obsolete. There's no way downtown could compete with the 3,500 hassle-free parking spaces of Fairview Park Mall, so downtown began to die. Though not without a fight. I mean, City Council tried so many different things to try and entice people back to the downtown core, but they didn't have much luck. And the bad luck continued. In the 80s, a lot of the factories went out of business, leaving many Kitchener citizens without a job. And in response to this unemployment, a variety of social services popped up in the downtown core, leaving us with some of Kitchener's finest. By 1996, City Council developed a new strategy for revitalizing downtown. Instead of trying to bring in shoppers from the suburbs, they were now focusing on getting people to live and work downtown, to provide a constant presence for the businesses there. And ideally, they were catering to software companies and university campuses, but this wasn't going to happen unless they spruced things up a bit downtown. So, in the spirit of the spruce, they went on a spree, and City Council bought up some of the downtown properties, like over here and here. And this was a timely move, right before, no, oh man,